This episode of Nerdist News is brought to you by Tor Books, proud publisher of Warrior of the Altai. How the Matrix 4 casting news reveals more than you think. Heads up, Copper Tops, we're plugging back into the Matrix. Back in August, it was announced that Warner Brothers would be producing a fourth Matrix film with Keanu Reeves reprising his role of Neo, along with Carrie-Anne Moss returning as Trinity. And with the film set to be directed by franchise co-creator Lana Wachowski, all we have to say to that perfect storm of talent is, watch wowski! Okay, how about just whoa? Whoa. And this week we have yet another piece of the puzzle with Variety reporting that Aquaman's Yahya Abdul-Matteen II having been cast as one of the new leads of this next installment in the franchise. Rumors have long been swirling that the powers that be have wanted to bring the Matrix back in some way, whether as another story within the world created by the Matrix or a prequel of some sort. But with the announcement of the film being titled Matrix 4, along with some of the fan favorites returning, this definitely implies that this is a continuation of the story that was finished in the Matrix Revolutions. But what do these announcements of new leads and returning stars mean for The Matrix 4 and where the franchise can go from the divisive ending of The Matrix Revolutions? Well, let's break it down right now. If it's been a while since you've logged into The Matrix, the third film, The Matrix Revolutions, ends with both Trinity and Neo sacrificing themselves to protect the last human city of Zion from getting wiped out by the machines by rebooting the Matrix to purge it of the Smith infection. Neo managed to break the wheel in a way that Daenerys Targaryen couldn't. He stopped the cycle of the human resistance being completely wiped out and left to rebuild. Neo's sacrifice was the only way to prevent the deaths of almost everyone in Zion, and this Neo was the first version of the One who was able to achieve that. The trilogy ends with an uneasy peace after centuries of war between man and machine. But with Trinity dying and Neo seemingly, i.e. almost definitely, dying in the third Matrix film, how could they possibly return for a fourth Matrix film? Well, there are a couple of ways this could work. Trinity did appear in the Matrix Online massive multiplayer online game that took place after the trilogy's end, implying that she somehow lived. Whether this is canon or not remains to be seen, but this definitely leaves the door open for the on-screen death of Trinity and the near-certain death of Neo to be retconned in some way, even if it means that their digital essences remain in the Matrix even though their physical bodies have died. Also, when the architect shows Neo his past iterations in The Matrix Reloaded, we see that they all look like Keanu Reeves. This basically confirms that the Matrix created the human resistance in the first place as a further means of control, but it also indicates that there is some genetic manipulation or cloning going on down on the farms where humanity has grown, if the One always looks like Keanu Reeves' Neo. Maybe the Matrix's creators created a new batch of Neos and Trinities, and we will see new versions of the characters in The Matrix 4, while still being a continuation of the same timeline of events from The Matrix Revolutions. Plus, casting Yahya Abdul-Matteen II as a new lead implies that the franchise is looking to branch out, and we could see new stories set in new parts of the universe, a la the Animatrix. Perhaps a new type of hero could emerge to fight new threats, kind of like the Star Wars sequel trilogy, but with how hot Keanu Reeves is right now, we're not expecting to see him sidelined at all in The Matrix 4. Another option for how this all could work is that this could still somehow be a prequel or a sidequel spin-off to The Matrix, with this story taking place in one of the past or future iterations of The Matrix. If there's one thing we know for certain, it's that the peace between humanity and the machines will be broken in some way, because come on, there wouldn't be a movie otherwise. We'll just have to see how this all shakes out when we learn more as it goes into production next year. But what do you folks think? Are you excited for The Matrix 4?
Yes!
How will Neo and Trinity return? And are you glad this gives them an excuse to make another Animatrix? Let's discuss. Thanks again to Tor Books for sponsoring today's episode. Warrior of the Altai, the never-before published novel from the epic fantasy author of the Wheel of Time series, Robert Jordan, has arrived. Bad omens are abound, and Wulfgar, a leader of the Altai people, must contend with twin queens, warlords, prophets, and magic in hopes of protecting his people and securing their future, all while the fearsome Fanghorn grow more numerous. Read Warrior of the Altai, available now wherever books are sold. For more info, follow @Tor Books. That's @TOR Books.